Awesome speaker, Reverend Karim Beldjilali.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Zoomers. Hi, Roomers. And hi, everyone else that wasn't able to make it today. I think I can speak for the endless amount of support that I receive every time I come here from folks that can't make it. So welcome all. It's lovely to see you all this Sunday morning. Be back with you to experience the energy of this place, the beauty of this place. Thank you, Dottie, for the flowers. You have bowled me over. And I just want to express my gratitude for this moment and us being together. I'm not sure I remember how to stand while talking. It's been a while. So if I tip over, somebody just prod me back up. So I'm feeling the bump in my heart, but I'm also thinking in the topic of unity, the bump of the drive here, the bump of our students in seminary, really wrestling with the topic and me wrestling with it too. It is so expansive, it's effusive and elusive. It includes all things, yet sometimes we so struggle to connect with it, to find it, to struggle with separation. We kind of have a feel for it, and our deepest parts of us know that it's there, that we are part of something greater than ourselves, that it is always with us. And we have this human experience too, where we get in our ego, our agenda, our perspective, our opinions. Didn't mean to say opinions with that much heat, by the way. It just came out that way, but I have some pretty strong opinions. And to balance the two, that it is God's play for us, this holding of these, all of this, the all in all that this is. And maybe that in our humility, that we know that we'll just get a taste of it in this life, that it's not something that is graspable or going to be with us all the time or fully understood, that it evolves and moves with us, that it's a conversation, that we are in conversation, listening. Thank you for that pregnant pause of a meditation in silence, holding and receiving. That there's a great cycle of more than just the binary understanding that we have, and that it is moving in its own mysterious way. The Tao puts it this way. This is verse 4. It says, the Tao is empty, yet it fills every vessel with an endless supply. Tao is hidden, yet it shines in every corner of the universe. With it, the sharp edges become smooth, the twisted knots loosen. The sun is softened by a cloud, the dust settles into place. So deep, so pure, so still. It has been this way forever. You may ask, whose child is it? But I cannot say. This child was here before the great ancestor. Immersive, yet elusive. Fills every vessel, yet empty. I've wrestled very much with this topic, not out of angst, but I wonder if it invites us for a wrestling, for an enjoining of where we are, what we believe, how we see the world, and what we may feel at our deepest is its truth, which is that we are all interconnected. There's one presence amongst us all. One presence. And yet there's this tension. Am I the only one? Any hands raised here, or am I just No, just me. Okay, I'll talk for myself. I'll keep it in the eye. So I feel that tension quite often. It's the day-to-day of everything. The movement as an individual, in community, there's that tension. Even in our deepest, most intimate relationships, we find that tension. The we, the me, the us, the all in all, our environment, our politics. Are we not all yearning for, yes, that deeper sense of unity? And at the same time, yearning for that sense of being heard, of being valued as the individual. What I have to say matters. I matter. I find this to be maybe God's gift to us. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it. But I wonder if that's kind of the mystery of it all. That is the tautness of life. That tension exists to keep us awake, to keep us on our toes, to let us know what unity is by feeling when it is not that, when it is not here. How do we know grace without seeing ugliness or disgrace? Generosity without stinginess. Love without fear. Before I get into all that, I wanted to share one little nugget. This is kind of the seminarian in me. I want to just unpack the idea of maybe what unity is not. Because we struggle with this, maybe some of us more than others. I know this dean certainly did, and a lot of seminarians do. The idea of what is really unity? One of the modalities that we can understand unity through is the idea of oneness. But I want to offer you this idea that maybe it's more than just one. That unity is everything. That it is wholeness. It is the completeness, the all in all. We sometimes have this agenda in spiritual communities that we're driving towards this unifying, we're going to all believe the same thing. We're going to all land on the same page. Is that a fair request of the diversity of life, the diversity of perspectives, experiences? I offer that to you as something to wrestle with, something to include in the idea of unity, that it is about together, that it is about wholeness, that it is about diversity. Forgot to mention, happy Pride. And happy Father's Day and Mother's Day that just passed. But how about that diversity? Do we have room for it? Do we have room for it when we're talking about unity? Do we have room for the why, the asking of the why, the asking of the why not, the asking of the why not now? Or maybe taking a pause from those questions and surrendering the question. We struggle with this in seminary quite often. Maybe there are reasons, maybe there are not. Maybe unity is not about getting an answer, but about possibilities. That we get to see and experience more than just what we think exists, than what is right in front of us. And so for us, maybe it is also a call to serve. And maybe unity is calling all of us to show up differently. So I want to invite you to consider what unity's gifts are to you, what the all in all is inviting from you, from me. I think one of its greatest gifts is creativity, stepping outside of ourselves, our experience, connecting to something beyond ourselves, hearing someone else's prayer, showing up in a new space, and being imbued with the wisdom that is not mine. Maybe it's not even yours. Maybe it gets created while we're just all together. Somebody says the right word at just the right moment, and it clicks. That unity is a creative process, and it invites in us creativity. It invites in us also perspective. That is another one of its gifts. We get stuck in the rut of ourselves sometimes, don't we? And maybe in those moments of surrender, we can let go of what we think it is, what we think life is, what life is asking of us, of who we are. And we can let go and see or experience a new perspective. A new perspective that's beyond our circumstances. We talk a lot about this in New Thought. Also an experience beyond binary thinking, that it's an either or. Whether whatever your tradition says, 2 or more are gathered, there I am. So there's always a third. And that goes right back to creativity. What is unity calling within us to find a new way, a better way, a gentler, kinder way, an expansive way? And I mentioned it before, but it also invites us to surrender. We're not all it. A sense of humility, not humiliation. This is not about less than, but it's not all on us. That the out-breath of a meditation can be as much filled with possibility and the idea of connecting to something greater than ourselves than this neck up exercise that I'm doing right now of talking to you. We could be having a conversation about unity right now by going to a park and playing ball, tossing a ball back and forth, and recognizing the amazing grace, the collaboration, the way that we keep that ball afloat. Watching kids maybe with a little red balloon in the park, keeping it off the grass so it doesn't pop. Always a hand there, lifting it up at the last moment. So I invite us, the last gift of unity is really to take this experience down from our, whatever this thing is, and into the rest of our body, into movement, into our other facilities, our kinesthetic, our physical, our creative, all the other facilities we have, to sense that there is more to this than we know, perhaps can know. But we can still yearn. We can still reach. Little nugget here. I always get concerned in spiritual communities, and this is still on the seminary side of things, regarding spiritual bypass. Unity sometimes is used to that end, where we say, why can't we just go to that place where we're just one? Or I don't watch the news because I don't want to invite that into my consciousness. Unity is bigger than that. The news is happening anyway, so it is in your consciousness whether you ignore it or not. So we need to engage. Unity is asking more of us, and unity is all inclusive. Even of the muck, the pain, the shootings, the murders that we've been seeing around this world, and in this country in particular. So I invite us to be very careful about spiritual bypass. We can be spiritual beings moving through a very human and painful experience, and unity is really prodding us to do that. Separation otherwise is what comes in. And the gift, I think, in the end is about wholeness. Everything is about wholeness. That's what unity is all about. It is a request to wake up and a charge to us to work on our acceptance. How are we truly listening to each other, to ourselves? What do we truly welcome? Are we hospitable to the experiences of our lives? There comes forgiveness too. Thank God we have another month for that. But we can touch upon it here, that maybe forgiveness and unity really go hand in hand, especially when we want to invite ourselves to experience more of life. And paradox is, to me, another word for unity. That it asks kind of opposite things of us. It holds so many things that seemingly in our minds, human minds, yes, maybe limited in perspective, seem like opposites or don't make sense together. But paradox is at the heart of truth, of unity. I want to read you a poem by a Kashmiri American, Aga Shahid Ali. He wrote, "The moon did not become the sun. It just fell on the desert in great sheets, reams of silver handmade by you. The night is your cottage industry now. The day is your brisk emporium. The world is full of paper. Write to me. Write to me." I feel like that is the closest I've gotten to understanding unity. This understanding that something is magnificent and unfolding within and without, and this deep yearning to know it. Ask, write to me. I want to know you. I want you to know me. We hope we show up and show up fully for these conversations, these listenings in humility. We're humble and extravagantly made. We are whole and beckoning to learn and know more of that which is greater than ourselves. That to me is unity. Can't put a bow on it, but it's beautiful. And I thank you for today. Peace.